Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, so I am going to basically tell you why John Padgett is not the proper candidate for a Christian to vote for, or anyone who would say they were a conservative socially and fiscally. Um, the one thing you have to have in a nominee for any political position, if you expect government to function the way it should function, is someone who is trustworthy and honest. I think an expression of being dishonest is doing something one year and then doing the opposite the next year because it's become popular. Let me grab this. Most of you have probably got this in the mail. This is John Padgett's, he's running for Georgia GOP chair. And what we receive in the mail will say things like, re-energize the grassroots. These are the things he wants to do. Making sure the voice of the GOP grassroots is heard. Fighting the liberal media and communicating our values. Building the future majority. Recruiting the best conservative candidates. Supporting our elected officials. Establish a GOP policy agenda. Beating the Democrats on the ground and online. Building bridges across our broad conservative coalition and to raise money. Trust matters, experience matters, leadership matters. And those things I listed are under the Padgett Conservative Action Plan. Now, John Padgett, this is what the pamphlet says. John Padgett has proudly worked in the grassroots of our party for over 35 years, and John currently serves as secretary and as a member of the GOP Executive Committee, and all this other stuff. Under John's leadership as the Athens-Clarke County Bush campaign co-chair in 2000-2004, Athens-Clarke County had the largest Republican turnout in over 130 years. Now, statistics like that don't speak really of themselves. Facts don't speak. It's the interpretation of the facts. So why is it that under John's leadership of Bush's campaign, which doesn't really speak conservatism to me, I don't think it reflects the Republican platform, but why is it that it had the largest Republican turnout in over 130 years? Doesn't mean necessarily that he had such a good he performed in such an amazing excellent way, but it could be other things. It could be that a lot of people moved from somewhere to Athens, Clarke County, or that they got people involved that otherwise would not have gotten involved. And so I wouldn't put that all on John. I wouldn't thank John Padgett for that. But anyways, the purpose of this video is to see they don't think he is electable. We can say he has electability. I do not think that John Padgett has electability for a true conservative. And I'll say this, and then I'll actually show you what I want to show you. John Padgett is a picture with George W. Bush, and he is in a picture with Allen West, both who are very large warmongers. They are big on war. They are big on, as you know, under Bush's administration came the Patriot Act. So the Republican Party under Bush was really not a republic. It did not reflect the Republican Party's platform. It did not speak conservatism. He actually brought in Medicare or Medicaid. That's my fault. Part D. So he expanded federal spending and expanded the federal government's responsibility with health care. We're big against Obama and his health care plan. Well, Bush expanded it too. But let's go straight to this video I'd like to show.
Elect John as the secretary. He's been an asset to me. He's been an asset to the party. His knowledge of what goes on within the party has been very helpful. He talks about when, I'm sure he can remember the '88 convention and things that went on then, and we don't want to make those mistakes. I apologize to the gentleman here for some actions that happened at the convention in '08 with the against the Ron Paul people. Maybe we weren't always in agreement with everything, but they did get some pretty shoddy treatment at that convention. And I didn't treat them shoddy, but we had some pressure from the other way, and I apologize publicly. And not trying to get your vote, just wanting to make sure you don't walk away mad. So, but it was, and so in this convention this time, I hope none of this happened. I brought with me to give to, and I had given it to your chairman today. Now, if he makes a mistake, John and I and the other members of the executive committee wrote this book. And if it's wrong, we told you wrong.
At this time, we will have the reading from the nominations committee.
Marvin Brown and James Garland.
I move the slate be accepted.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
No.
Division. Division. Chair, the ayes have it. Division.
Division.
The ayes have it. Division.
I call to question the chair. An appeal from the decision of the chair.
Second. This is to discuss the convention's now closed. Division. I'm sorry.
Can you count the ayes?
State violating state party
The
rules.
list is present at this time.
And you are
The
jeopardizing
convention is
all of the
closed.
delegates from this
If you have
precinct.
any questions, feel free to discuss this with the Georgia GOP Secretary, John Padgett. Thank you all for coming.
Now, if you look right there, Pageant, they were just told that if they had any questions, they could direct them to Executive Secretary John Padgett. And John was questioned about why he didn't answer any questions and why he didn't do anything about, what happened and would he have done anything different in the debates of this year, 2013. And John, I don't have it up, he was basically was saying I was a delegate, so I couldn't really do nothing. But he was the executive secretary. So there he is right there on the left. He's packing up. He's putting his stuff on, and it doesn't look like he's going to wait around for questions.
And we'll be in touch.
And the secretary said of the state of Georgia said he would be available to answer questions. I'd like to talk to him. I think we should all go talk to him. Mr. Padgett, can we please speak with you? Yes.
Not with that on.
Why not?
Not because I said not with that on.
Well, we're in a public place, so we're going to leave it on, sir.
Thank you.
Could you tell
I'm
me?
in a public place
That's
too.
fine. You can keep walking, and I'm going to keep talking. Could you tell me why the chairman of our meeting did not call for head count and division count when it was asked for? Did not call for a standing count and closed the meeting illegally without a 2/3 majority vote, as is states in your own party rules. You are the secretary of the GOP. You know the rules, sir.
You would need to discuss that with him.
I would need to discuss that with him, but I can't because he closed the meeting and ran off. You said it during the meeting, you invited us to speak to him, to you after the meeting. Is that not correct,
I'm
sir?
telling you what to do. You need to.
I will be
interrupt
glad
you.
to speak to him, but I would like to know on behalf of the Georgia Republican Party.
Really nice meeting.
Please don't touch me. On behalf of the
Well,
Georgia
let me tell you,
Republican Party,
we've had the end of
how
this. Thank
can
you.
you stand there and smile when you know that the rules were broken? And you know that you just jeopardized the delegates for this entire
I don't know.
county.
No, I don't know.
The rules were broken. We called for a division.
So are you claiming to not know the rules?
Are you saying not claiming to not know the rules of the Republican Party? Because I have them right here.
There's the chairman right there. That's no problem.
I would like to know why there was not a head count when we called for division.
It's obvious we called for division, sir.
It's obvious we called for a division. It's obvious that.
Now, at this point, Pageant doesn't show up in the video again. He passed the torch on to the chairman and basically said, "You handle it. I'm not going to say anything." And it's one thing if you've got a camera in somebody's face. That could be that can kind of make you not want to say certain things or be interviewed. But if John Padgett knows the rules, which he seemed to suggest he didn't know the rules, but it's almost a question of did he know that it was wrong? What happened? Was he not aware? Does he know what division is? Does he know that you have to stop, that it's not amendable? You don't need a second. Does he not know the rules? And then, or does he know the rule? He knows the rules, but doesn't care. Doesn't care because, as we have seen at the national convention, the Ron Paul delegates, which are obvious in their party. I mean, it's like somebody with leprosy in the Republican Party. Somehow people knew I supported Ron Paul without even me saying it. When I came into my county and became a delegate for my county. So that is a big issue for me. One, that the guy doesn't know the rules, or he's just dishonest and he doesn't care about upholding the rules. And his pamphlet talks about making sure the voice of the GOP grassroots is heard. As your chair, I will set up a process and actively promote conversations and communications between our elected officials and the grassroots of our party to strengthen our party from top to bottom. This is not a way to do that, and that is the opposite way to do that. To ignore questions, to see something illegal go on, and yes, the delegates were jeopardized, and to be okay with it and not say anything, and to not even wait around for questions. I mean, you had to have known that there were going to be questions when 5 people are saying division, and you pack up and go. So this is the third reason that I don't think that he has any electability whatsoever. I think he would be the worst chair of the Georgian Republican Party. And I think we should not forget these actions. The same thing, like I said, happened to RNC with getting rid of the Ron Paul delegates, because Ron Paul would have won. Ron Paul would have made it, and the oligarchy, which I believe there is an oligarchical top-down system going on in the Republican Party. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist either, so don't throw me in with them. But I do believe that there is a group of people that is running the Republican Party from top down. It's no longer about the people. It's no longer about who reflects the principles of the Republican platform, but it's about who can we get in that, several reasons. Maintain our profits, and to just anybody to get Obama out. And, we had Ron Paul in, we're going to look like a bunch of cuckoos. And, I mean, there's several reasons. But John Padgett is not the man for the Georgia GOP chair. The last guy you would want to vote for, if you are conservative, would be John Padgett.